I'm For your friend, and welcome to the Family of One Child podcast. Now, if you're watching this video and you're wondering, where is she? Well, she is at a horse barn waiting for her child. As you do as parents, we all have, if your child is participating at that age, participating in a sports and activity, and you are waiting in your car, and 1 hour goes on to 2 hours or so on. Sometimes, if you're able to get work done, or maybe record a podcast, which I am doing right now, or maybe you're listening to some music and you're jamming. I was going to say this is a jamming song, but it'll probably be blocked because my singing is amazing. Okay, I'll just get to the point. Anywho, so I'm in my car and it is hot. I mean, I forgot to bring my fan. So I found, you're looking in your car and thinking, what can I use? Can I turn the air conditioner on? I could, but I don't have air conditioning. If you're listening, like you don't have air conditioning in your car right now, it's not working. But if you're thinking, I never had air condition, welcome. Oh my goodness. So I don't know how hot it is, but it's enough for me to sweat. Gonna make you sweat. Okay, yeah, I gonna make you like my body's thinking, excuse me, I think we're already there, so you don't need to sing that song. Anywho, so the Family of One Child podcast. I have been thinking about all your mamas who are building community, and you're active, you're looking for your 2 to 3 families that you can take on a field trip. Or you're thinking, you know what, I'm ready to reach out to a family, but I want to do something more than just go to maybe the local library. You're ready to explore, discover, and really get to know your local community. Well, I am your friend Mama, who has already done that and is continue on doing that. Okay, so I'm just going to give you some experience and share stories that has worked for me. So I was thinking there has been some places in the local community that you have may overlook. For example, I took a group of my friends, the little local adventures at that time when I was building it for my daughter and myself. I took them then to a car dealership. Yep, you heard it, a car dealership. And we went to a General Motors car dealership. And you're thinking, you took your group to a car dealership? I did. And the reason why is one, I thought it would be fun. I never had been to this particular car dealership. You're thinking, they could be like weird, or really car dealerships, car salesmen are not nice. Well, in my local community, we have very nice car dealerships and the salespeople are nice. And honestly, have I met someone? There was one story. Okay, side note, but it may be you may be able to relate it. I remember I was looking at this car with my husband, and it was like well above our price range. And the guy goes, "Oh, so you can buy this car." And I said, yeah, I can, and not live anywhere, but live in my car. And he was looking at me like, well, and I was like, yeah, I could live in this car because that's all we're going to do. We cannot even afford to live anywhere else. We wouldn't be able to have a house. I mean, maybe I could eat things like we run it over, like roadkill. And my husband's like, well, she is really going there with him. So I said, no, thank you. But it was nice to, have a test drive. And one other tip, just saying, if you are going to a car dealership and the car is behind a rope, just letting you know, do not touch the car. Like, don't go and open up the doors if you don't have permission. It's probably best to get permission. If the car's behind a rope and the door's open, you don't necessarily, and depending on the type of the car, don't go in straight away and start, testing things. I mean, I didn't turn the car on. I just got in. I started like pulling down the seat belt, and because I just wanted to smell it, touch it, get the full experience. Turn around, find out where's my husband, and he is not budging. He is not coming like close to where I am. And the guy comes out, the salesperson, and he's like, can I help you? obviously your wife is helping herself. And the look on his face, the salesman and my husband, I was like, okay, So I walk out and I said, "Oh, obviously we cannot afford to purchase this car. And this is like a dream of mine. When I see something, smell it, dream it, like getting right in there. But I said, look, I apologize. My husband did say, how about we wait till a salesman come out and we can ask him, is it okay if we have a look at this car with him? And I was like, look, it's in here. Just help yourself. Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing to do. So there's so many things. You're probably thinking, really? That's like basic knowledge. Well, I'm sorry. I was still learning stuff. Now I know that was like many years ago. So I don't do those kind of things anymore. And then I know, like, when you go to a car show, okay, here again, I did not know when you go to a car show, you do not touch people's cars. Like, you do not get your finger and touch. Don't be touching. You look with your eyes. You just look. You stand there and you observe nicely. Like, you can go and have a look the window, but don't be touching their cars. Don't put your fingers all over it. I didn't know that. I thought car show, woohoo. And my husband's like, he goes, you don't touch other people's cars. And I said, well, in the car show, how do you know these things? Because it doesn't say car show, do not touch. He goes, well, I don't know what he said. And I said, really? He goes, no, you don't. He goes, like it's a museum. When you go to museums, you don't going up and you're touching, putting your fingers all over the statues, the paintings. I was like, well, if it's an interactive museum, he goes, this is not that type of car show, nor if it's not that type of museum. You generally know what not to do. And I was like, well, you married someone who obviously does not know these basic one-on-one how to behave at car shows. And the reason why I'm telling you this, because if you do go to a car dealership, it's good to ask them when I bring my group in and we get to know the type of cars you bring, what can we touch, because we're going to bring your kids. We brought in our children and we had ages from like babies to like 7 years old. And for them, they want to use all senses. They want to open up a car. They want to go on the steering wheel and, they want to sit in the chair, the passenger and the driver, and they might ask questions and they want to touch the buttons and all of that. So it's always good because you can't rely on people like me who doesn't know these type of basic rules of what to do. Okay, so I now have moved into a cooler space, which is in my home, because while I was recording, I was getting super duper hot. So before I start anymore, I want to give a shout out to all of you who have been watching, maybe on the video, you've been watching my YouTube through the podcast, or you've been listening to the podcast. And when you listen to the last episode, I give a shout out to you. So here it goes to all the mamas who have listened to the last episode. So the first one to the mom in Los Angeles, California. Hi to Boardman, Oregon. And to next one, San Lorenzo, California. Meridian, Mississippi. Next one is New York, New York. Scottsboro, Alabama. Union Mills, Indiana, Lesville, South Carolina. Now, if you wonder, why does she keep looking to my right, which is probably to your left because I have a list. Columbus, Ohio. I don't want to miss anyone. And Roxville Center, New York. Next one is Miami, Florida. My list gone. As soon as I said my list disappears. Hold on a minute. My bird. Let me get it. In Goshen, Indiana. Sydney, New South Wales. Brazil, Belize. Omar, New Northern Ireland. I want to say thank you all for listening and watching and supporting the podcast, The Family of One Child. So I'm going to say it again because I believe that you all deserve an awesome shout out to the mom in Los Angeles, California. Boardman, Oregon, San Lorenzo, California, Medellin, Mississippi, New York, Scottsboro, Alabama, Union Mills, Indiana, Lesville, South Carolina, Columbus, Ohio, Denver, Colorado, Rockville Center, New York, Miami, Florida, in Goshen, Indiana, Sydney, New South Wales, and Corozal, Belize, and Omar, Northern Ireland. So if I had missed you out, it's because when I start recording, I had already recorded the locations and cities before I was able to get your stats through Buzzsprout. So I just want to say thank you all to the moms who tune in at least once or twice a month, because as you know, that's when I record, unless you're going to get at least 1 or 2 episodes per month. Now, your mom is busy, your friend, just like you, as we are building community. And maybe you're thinking, what do you mean by building community? It could be you're reaching out to your local, locations, you're getting to know, you're exploring, you're discovering, you're learning with your child. You want to do more. You want to learn who are the people in your community that you are. Maybe it's a local shop. It could be the car dealership person. It could be, for example, we have a local airport. Now, these are smaller airports than the main airports you see that come in internationally, the airplanes. I called the person and I asked, we're a small group. We're a field trip made up of mom and dads with children, families, not because it's not all homeschool at the time. It was a variety, grandparents, and we have a variety of ages. And we would love to have a tour. Is it possible that we could come and have a tour of the airport? And they said yes. And there was no cost to have a tour. So the cool thing about it, when I called and I made the booking, he was asking, what do you want to see? What is the goal? What is it that you want your group to learn? And then I said, well, this is my first. I've never had a tour at the airport. What I would like is see different types of planes. I mean, are we allowed to go and visit certain hangars, or is there a plane that maybe we could go inside? I didn't know. And he said, yeah, we have a plane. We let them see. And I think it was a private plane. And then there was a helicopter. So there was different types. Of course, there's other planes that we could just see with our eyes, but we could not go in because, it's people's planes. We had to be respectful. But he said on this day and this time, your kids, your families that come and see, that's the time I would recommend, because we have a lot of people flying in, flying out. So it'd be cool to see that, the busy runway. And then also he said they had like little, I think it wings that you can give to kids, and stickers and information about planes and about the airport that we're visiting. And he was very knowledgeable about this location. He'd been there for many, many years, and he's also a pilot himself, which was wonderful because not only did the children have questions, but also the parents. For example, we asked how much it cost if we wanted to rent, for example, an airplane or a helicopter. And what does it look like? And what's the schedule? Where do they go? So it was really wonderful. And then this was amazing. So one of the trips, because I think I took 3 different groups, but what it was wonderful is that because maybe it was just me at that time, but I thought it was amazing, and it was a nice dream build. So as we were walking and we were doing the tour around the airport, I got to see a group, and they were waiting in the lobby. And remember, it's very small. It's a small airport. And so these people were there, and they looked like they were going on vacation. I have traveled overseas, and I cannot wait till I travel in a more comfortable situation. And I just know what it's like when you're traveling with so many other people who would prefer to sit in the front. At least you have a little bit more leg room. I would love to experience that. Anyhow, so these people look like they didn't have to worry about their leg room. Look like everything's going to be okay. And so they had that, like, oh, this is just a lovely. And then I didn't realize they had their little dog with them. So we're all like, all little kids and some parents were all walking by. We all said a hello wave, and then we're just going about our business, going through the lobby, going outside. And I tell you what, and he goes, oh, and that plane, blah, blah. He explained the type of plane. And then I see the same group later get on that plane, and they look very happy. I want to experience that. So why am I saying this? Because when you go and visit these type of things, these locations, these stores, these businesses in your local area, you get to see who has access to them, who uses the resources. And I was like, I would love, what am I speaking like? My belly. I would love, like deep down, I was like, I would love to get on a plane like that, not have to worry, go through like so many things and be crowded and all this stuff, just to get on a private plane, have my hair flowing and just like, you know what, and just like, just so lovely. And I get on the plane, private plane, goes somewhere nice. Yeah. First, I just need to get air conditioning in my car. That would be great. But anywho, so that's what I mean. And then he explains there are other planes on the runway. And there is so, and I wish I could tell you, oh, there, like I could name all the planes over there. I couldn't name any of the planes. I just knew the size and they look very nice. And the cool thing about it, when we had the opportunity to go on a small private plane, it was already in the hangar. He said, you can go on this one. It's not being used and blah, blah, blah. And we have permission. And it was so nice because I have never been on a private plane before. I mean, I've seen it on movies and the kids, it was so much fun because, you know, there's some people that have never been on a plane. They don't even have a passport. So that was mind blowing to them as well. And I was like, oh my gosh, you don't have a passport? You've never been on a plane? Well, hello. It could be the same thing that person's saying, oh my goodness, you've never been in first class or business class? It'd probably be like that. Or, oh my gosh, your car doesn't have air conditioning? So I'm just saying, it's all relative depending on the lifestyle you have. But the look on the children's face, and my daughter, you know, you go in, and I noticed this plane, like the seats, your girl is an XXL. I mean, she's got some bones to her. You know what I mean? So I can imagine it's like, I wonder, I'm sure they make bigger seats. So the people who own this plane, they exercise quite a bit. I was also thinking maybe they're like a type of person who is in the fitness industry. Well, they're definitely not like, they're just a different type of lifestyle. Back to, okay, so I'll go back, wrapping it up. Landing the plane. Anyhow, so the kids, they got to sit in it and it was just amazing. And then the parents too, just to ask, go in this plane, sit down and ask questions. And then we got to see a really nice helicopter. And the helicopter he showed us, I think he said maybe for a few hours, if you rent this helicopter, it'll be like $1,000 or $2,000. And I was like, dollars. But anyhow, so it was really nice. And then he was saying, yeah, people generally, he had people maybe rent this helicopter and they go to Chicago and they come back. So he was kind of telling us the distance of where they are. And I was like, wouldn't that be nice? I mean, for me to where I am and where Chicago is, I think it's like a 3-hour drive, maybe 2 or 3 hours. And just to get on the helicopter, whoop, you're there. That would be amazing. So it was really nice to dream build. Now, my daughter at the time, she was 3 or 4. Her excitement to see, you know, the planes, the helicopters up close and just to experience what it looks like. It was a really good day. And I did that tour probably like 3 times, even though it took 4 groups. I think by the 4th time I said, you know, my daughter like, oh, it's okay. We've done that. But we got all positive feedback from parents. There's a lot of questions that parents really enjoyed, and even the older kids, because when I matched the group, I try to put it in ages, similar ages. So when the older kids went, and I mean by older, maybe they were 10 and up, between 14, I really did my best to try put them all together so the questions would be geared to more age appropriate. So we try to do that, age appropriate in put the groups similar ages together. But it was amazing. I absolutely loved that local airport so much. I sent other groups and they weren't even in my field trip group at that time. It was just other group. I said, you need to call this person and they give wonderful tours and they still do to this date. They are amazing. I mean, unless they're not, and I haven't heard, I mean, I haven't been there for the last maybe 6 years, but everyone that I talk to, man, that is amazing. And so there might be, once again, there might be some things in your local area. I encourage you, reach out. You are the mom who is building community to the two to three other friends. Take them with you. And as you connect with your friends and, you're building on top of that friendship, you're going to learn with your child. You're going to discover and explore. And then you take those experiences and so when you're at home or when you're reading your book or you're watching maybe your favorite movie and then a plane comes or a helicopter and then your child's like, we helicopter, we saw that, seen it, or maybe you're going on a travel in the future and you're going to get your passport. So this is a good bridge between, well, you remember we were going on a plane, we're going to travel, well, we're going to get a passport so we can travel overseas or travel somewhere. You know what? You can make this learning so much. You can expand it more. And that's why I wanted to share with you. Or when you go to work, you're building community there and your coworkers. You can let them know what you did in the community. You say, hey, I went to a car dealership. Did you know that they had this cool place? Maybe you're looking for a car. Or you let them know I had a really positive experience. And maybe you're not going to buy that car there, but eventually, maybe one day you might refer them to someone else, or maybe with the airport, there's so many opportunities learning in your local community. Okay, so check it out on my joyfulgatherspress.com website for the free resources and the $22 bundle that you can get. So all these templates I have, how to contact, what to say, and also you might want to have like a more of a plan. How do I, when I call, how do I organize it? How do I go about it? I have everything, both of the free resources for you in the 22 bundle. So get that, check it out. Give me a feedback. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you are discovering in your local community with your child, or what are you doing with your coworkers in your community. I'm in my car again, meaning I'm at the barn. Once again, it is hot. So saying that, you are amazing, Mom. You are doing the best you can with the time that's given, with the resources you have. Look at me. It is hot. I don't have air conditioning on, but I am doing the best I can with the resources I have, with the time that's given to get this podcast out. So if I can do it, and it's super hot, you can too. You are an amazing mom to your child, like I am. I'm an amazing mom. I am sitting here waiting for my beautiful child to finish her barn chores in this hot heat. She's amazing too. So I told her, it's okay. Do what you need to do. Mama's here waiting. So you are mom. You're an amazing mom to your child. You're an amazing wife to your husband. And I wanted to let you know and remind you, you are a treasure to the community. Okay. You are amazing. Tell yourself that. Give yourself encouraging words as you are encouraging others, and you are a wonderful friend. I am so thankful that you listen to this podcast and you get to hear these funny stories. And look, if I can do this, so can you. So continue on building your community, reach out, get to know your local community as you are building your friendships for you and your child. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.